Hi, guys, and welcome back to Unveiling with Nisi. I am so glad you are here. I know that I missed the last Sunday that I was supposed to be posting, but I have really been feeling very low, and all of this is just due to stress. Like, your Caribbean parents might say, "What if it stress you? You have man, you have house, you have job, you can buy what you want, you can eat what you want. What for really stress you, right? Like, stress is not supposed to happen, right?" And even if it does happen, yeah, big smarty, deal with your life. And it is not as easy for everyone. Like, it's not as easy for me when it comes on to certain things. Hey, 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 this is Nisian, and you are tuned into Unveiling with Nisi. In this podcast, I want to share some of my life experiences that incorporate both personal growth and how I overcame some challenges I faced on my journey to a more peaceful life. I strongly believe in the saying, each one teach one, because everyone has some lesson or advice that can lead to personal or professional growth in another. I want to use this platform to invite friends, family, and friends that will eventually become family to share their lived experiences as well. Stories will be shared about my personal experiences in relationships, friendships, and hardships that made me into the woman I am today. There will be difficult conversations, and there will also be easy ones. But the difficult ones are what I love to share. Through difficult conversations, we can find answers that we never knew we wanted. These answers bring us both peace and some level of acceptance, in my opinion. So come on a journey with me as I create space not just to release through conversations, but to also have you as my listeners take something away at the end of the discussions. So we're going to just jump over to Cleveland Clinic, and I'm going to give you a definition of what stress is. Stress is a normal human reaction that happens to everyone. In fact, the human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. When you experience changes or challenges, which are called stressors, your body produces physical and mental responses. Stress responses help your body adjust to new situations. Stress can be positive, keeping us alert, motivated, and ready to avoid danger. For example, if you have an important test coming up, a stress response might help your body work harder and stay awake longer. But stress becomes a problem when stressors continue without relief or periods of relaxation. Now, guys, I have been experiencing stress as it relates to motherhood, marriage, and the biggest stress that I'm facing is basically leaving my job. As I said in the last episode, it's not like you go into a job with the mindset that you're going to leave. You actually go in and thinking that it's going to work out for the best, and things happen and it just does not work out. And I just want to interject quickly. Not because it did not work out, do not blame yourself. Sometimes some workplaces are just shitty, and it's just shitty with shitty people, and you just have to leave. That is all. Don't blame yourself, okay? We don't self-sabotage around here. Now let's get back to the episode. Let's talk about some of the stress that I've been feeling. The first one is being a mother and not having a community. So for me, it's a big thing to have support. When I was growing up, I grew up in an extended family. As dysfunctional as it was, there was always someone there to watch us. There was always like an uncle or a cousin or an auntie or an older sibling, not older for me, but there was older persons in the house that was able to watch us, and our family was able to go to work and do what they had to do to keep the household afloat. So, and there was also grandma and grandpa, but like, there, if you never have anyone in the house, you had neighbors that you could be like, "Hey, Nisi, go up to Miss so and so, go stay until so and so come back or so and so come in," or if mama going to market and mama don't want to take us with her to market, there was always a neighbor that would just keep an eye down by the house for us. And I miss that community that we had. And sometimes when our parents are saying, oh, have kids, have kids, have kids, you have to be mindful, because you don't want to just jump and have kids and don't have that community. Because see, we run into that problem. We had a child and we are in a community that does not give me community energy, right? Yes, it's a nice community to live in, but the first Jamaican that I met in the community was an older man, and the older man looked me, right? So, anyways, we're not going to dive into that. But like, all I'm saying is the community is here, but I don't sense a feeling of support if it was needed. Not having someone here to support us with our daughter is very hard. And, even if you pay someone to watch your child, sometimes they're being paid, it's just a job to them, and that caring aspect is not always there. Some people just want to just receive a check or whatever. So you have to be mindful of who you get, and some caregivers are few and far between, so you never know what you're going to get. One thing I definitely stress about is not being able to have a community or a support system immediately around us, right? Because my dad lives in Florida, but he lives like and something away, and that is a journey in itself, because it's and something away on the highway. It's not back roads, right? So he's a good distance away from us. So I miss having that immediate support around us, like what myself and Ryan grew up in. Another thing that is kind of stressing me out was getting up to go to work at 4 a.m. and not leaving work until like 6 or 7 p.m. So I think I spoke about this in a video or something, but when I was working in acute, you can go in like between 7, sometimes 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. You can go in between those times, but you never know what time you're going to be leaving. And that kind of was just crazy to me. But no, in acute, your job starts at 4 a.m. and I would have to wake up like 2:45 a.m. To get ready to reach work by 4 a.m. and then I don't leave work until like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. It sounds good if you don't have responsibilities. Like if you are way older and you don't have kids that you're taking care of, or you don't have dependents living in your home that you need to be home for, then it's a perfect job. If you're young and you don't have a family and you don't have nobody that you're responsible for, it's a fun job. Like you can get up whenever, go to work and leave whenever. So for me that have a family, and then plus I have family, my sister is visiting and I want to be present for my husband as well, it's very it's not realistic for me. And maybe I talked myself into this job thinking that it could work, and it just never worked out. But yeah, it's just that this waking up this early was just, it's too much, and that caused a stress on my body. It wasn't even the mental part is there, but like the physical part was just, I was just getting very, very exhausted. The next thing now was constantly having to set boundaries with my family. Jesus Christ, this is a constant thing. I don't think like when I speak up to my family, they really understand when I say certain things, or I decide, hey, this is what I want, especially in my home. This is what I want to happen. I don't think they get it. It's like they live one way at home, and then if you're coming my space, you're doing something completely different, and it just affects me. And when I talk about it, it seems like I'm just mad for no reason. That gets me angry, and that stressed me out, because it's not like I'm telling you to do anything different. I'm just saying, well, I'm telling you to do some things different. I'm just saying respect my home. Respect my space. I just want you to respect my space, and that is all I ask for when you visit my space, whether you're a family or a friend. Respect it, treat it like how you would, no, don't treat it like how you would treat yours, because I don't know how people treat their places. But just if I say something, just respect that, because it's my home. That is all I'm going to say. My next thing that was stressing me out is that I was dealing with Ryan. Ryan works 7 on and 7 off. So for 7 days, I am sleeping in my bed alone. If I was on night shift, maybe it would be different. But I guess I like the idea for him because he's going to be off for 7 days and I'll have him for 7 days. But it's like when that 7 days on hit, he's not in bed. And I have to be there. I don't know who if other person does this, but if your partner is not in the bed, I line up the pillows like there is somebody in the bed, and I push the pillows up against my back so I can feel that sense of like he's sleeping next to me. I don't know why I do that, but it just gives me some level of comfort to just feel like, okay, he's with me, and in bed. Yeah. So I would just push my long pillows, I'll put them out alongside his side of the bed, and I'll push them against my back and then get my blanket and then cover the pillows with me, and it just feels like he's there, right? So yeah, I do that weird thing. So yeah, and it helps me to sleep at night. Another thing was that I was not finding time to create content for YouTube and my podcast. So I was basically oh, it's still going. I thought my thing just shut off. But anyways, not finding the time to create content for YouTube and this podcast, I was finding it really, really hard, because now that Azalea is here, I'm trying to be present for her, and then also I'm trying to be present for my sister that is visiting, and then I have to make sure that they have stuff that they need for when they want to go play, and make sure that they, just try to create a harmonious environment to where they are not restricted in a sense of doing certain things. So it's like also trying to be present with Azalea, because even though she's doing her arts and crafts, she's like, Mommy, look at this. Hey, Mommy, how you spell this word? Or Mommy, read me a book. Or Mommy, da da da. So it's a lot of needs that is there. And that does not annoy me at all, because, she stays in Jamaica for school. And her being present is just so great for us. But there is still also my needs. I'm talking about me, but it's still my needs that I need to take a break. Like, I can play with her, yes, but I need to find time for myself as well. So there is also that little guilt there that I feel like, why are you feeling like this? You should want to spend all this time with her. And that kind of just start getting me a little bit anxious, like, you should not be feeling this way, Nisi. You need to be present with her. She's going to be going back to school and you're not going to be there with her and stuff like that. So it kind of stressed me out as well. But yeah, I could not find the time to create content for YouTube, and I could not find the time to create my podcast, and it just kind of made me feel like a push and a pull and a push and a pull. So yeah, that increased my stress levels as well. And then now my new stressor, because guess what? You're going to have stress, but then you got new stress that will come, because life will always be lifing. But my new stressor right now is that Azalea have chronic hives, and basically why I say chronic hives is that she's been having these swellings throughout. From she was like about, I'm going to say 2, she started having spontaneous hives that will just pop up randomly, and I would use the Benadryl cream to prevent her from itching and scratching up her skin, and then if they don't go down over time, I would use the hydrocord cream and it will take it away. However, now she's having swellings, and the swellings are bigger and they are looking like whales, and she's just scratching up a storm. And when she was in Jamaica, they ordered oral steroids for her, and she took it and it disappeared. It just went away. No more issues after that. Then she will have little flares here and there, and the doctor would say, okay, just use the hydrocord cream. But now that she's here with us, she's having those extreme wails. So I made an appointment to speak with a dermatologist, and I think I'm going to ask the dermatologist if they have allergists in that clinic or in that office, so we don't have to be going from one place to the next, so they can do everything all at once there. But we have that an appointment coming up, so just keep us in your prayers and keep us in good spirits, because these swellings, oh my god, it has been stressing me out. It's like one minute I look, she's good, the next minute I look, there's this big swelling on her back or on her legs, and that in itself is giving me, like, I'm not going to lie to you, like when I had put the hydrocort on one of the swellings and she went to bed and then she woke up with like a massive one on her leg, I started to feel like I was drowning. Like I could not breathe. And my friend was like, Nisi, you're having a panic attack. Like, that's a panic attack, bitch. Yes. So I am starting to realize that these panic attacks are coming on more and more. And it's because of the different or multiple stressors that are active all at once, right? So, yeah, that was a lot, right? So let's just take a break. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Unveiling with Nisi. I'm happy you are here. I'm happy you are showing support. I get all the loves and I love it, okay? I am really grateful that you're here, but I do want to remind you, remember to follow the podcast. Remember to subscribe to the podcast so that you can be notified whenever a new episode drops. Okay, guys, let's get back to the conversation. So guys, when I'm stressed, everyone around me will feel it. I mean, just like when I'm happy, you will feel that I'm happy. But when I'm stressed, you're gonna feel it. It's called balance, baby. I'm just kidding. That's not good. But yeah, I find it hard to really hide my emotions as I get older. I have learned to read people well, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because I can tell when someone's energy is off, or when someone, based on how they're talking to me or their body language or their position or the way they make eye contact with me or the way they look away. It's like I have been doing this for years now, and I'm kind of starting to pick up on certain cues, and I'm also picking up on your aura, your energy. I am starting to realize that I can pick up on all these things, and when it's off, it's like it's off. It's like I can't fake it. I can't fake the interaction anymore. When I'm stressed, I can become very angry. Like, I'll shout and then I'll feel bad and then I'll apologize and then I'll look for a hole to crawl in. So that hole that I'll look to crawl in would be like my office space, because it is my little sanctuary. It has all my books, all of my herbal stuff. It has my podcast equipment. It has my laptop, and it has my big calendar of all my plans and this and that, and it's just my little space. And this is my hole that I tend to crawl in and kind of resort to, because then when I am stressed to the point of just being angry and lashing out, it's like, who are you? And then that is my internal pull, like, why are you being so angry? Why are you projecting? Because I hate when people project. So when I project, it's like I have to catch myself, like, bitch, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And then I feel so sad inside, because it's like I should not have projected, or why did I be this angry to my sister, or why did I be angry to Ryan, or why did I be angry to Azalea, or why did I be angry to my mother? And that is sometimes something that I internally deal with on a daily basis, because sometimes it's not like I want to. It's like my mouth work faster than my mind when I'm angry or when I'm stressed out, right? So I'm still working on that, and I'm going to touch on what I'm doing to try to be better at not lashing out. So before we go into that, I just want to say I have been stressed to the point of where I was having anxiety or panic attacks. And when I am stressed to this point, I tend to cry. The lighter stress comes with me shouting or just saying what I want and just feeling horrible about it. But like the other part of like when I'm really, really, really having like a panic attack, I can't talk. I just cry. And I've had two very bad situations of anxiety in the last 2 weeks. The first one was basically me deciding to leave my job. I was very anxious about the situation, but it was definitely something that I need to do. Like, I needed to leave. This is no longer somewhere that I can grow in. It is no longer somewhere I feel comfortable with. I do not trust the people that work under me, meaning that they work on my license. So I no longer trust them. So I no longer want to be there. So therefore, I am taking that step away from constantly feeling like I'm in an environment where I'm suffocating, right? So now that I'm stepping away, that was the first like little panic I was having, because I was like, why you have to leave? Nisi, this job is, it pays you well, and you are closer to home, and all these different things. You work every other day, every 2 weeks you'll have like 2 days off or something like that. And I was like, why are you leaving? I got so anxious, because now I'm like, should I leave? Should I just push through the discomfort? Should I just wait? Maybe it will get better. All of these different things was just floating in my mind, and that's where that anxiety attack started. Then, as it got closer to the week that I would be resigning, full blown curl up fetal position in bed, don't want to move, crying, anxiety attack. Like, this is the last week. Girl, you are not going to be working for the month of August. Where is this money coming from? You're going to dip in your savings? Your savings that you said you did not want to touch? That's what you're going to do? This is just me having an internal struggle, like, should you stay? Should you go? This is the last week. There's no turning back. Like, I'm at the edge of the cliff, and somebody just keep, like, a rope is tied around my waist, and somebody just keep pushing me and pulling me, pushing me and pulling me, and that is how I'm feeling. So, living in America, the thought of not receiving a check is scary, because we got so many bills, bitch, and so much shit. You see that TikTok? So many bills, bitch, and so much shit. But in reality, it is scary. And I tend to put it this way: is either I go into a depressive state, staying at a soul-sucking job with humans that I genuinely dislike and cannot work with, which will lead to me becoming hospitalized for weeks. I would still not be working, right? Especially, what paycheck are you going to look for if you don't have enough sick leave accumulated, or you don't have enough PTO? And then if you get sick and you're in a depressive state, and you use up your PTO while you're in that state, or you use up all of your sick leave, and you want to take a break from work and you don't have a PTO, that is still you going without a paycheck if you're going to take a non-pay leave. Yeah. So we out this bitch. We leaving, okay? We don't know where the money gonna come from, but it's gonna come from somewhere, and we're going to take a break in August. That's what we're doing, okay? Yeah. So in all honesty, I can say I never experienced this level of stress when I was living in Jamaica. But I also cannot say I would not have experienced this if I stayed in Jamaica. There have been so many changes, right, that have happened over the years. And I just have to just live in the present. It is what it is. Because it makes no sense to be constantly thinking, what if, right? What if I stayed in Jamaica? What if I did not leave? What if I constantly worked as a nurse and moved up to like a ICU or a dialysis position, and you're making enough money to survive, and then Ryan would possibly be promoted as a police officer in Jamaica? Like, what if we were supposed to be around family and friends that could help support us and keep us and da da da? It's still a what if, because it's not our life. Anything could have happened while we were living there and working there, and we still may have possibly moved away from our hometowns, and we may not have had good people living around us. So we don't know. You never know. So I'm trying to not constantly live in what if, because some level of stress comes with that, right? So we are now to the part where I am going to be talking about what I'm doing to decrease my stress levels and how am I coping. How are you coping, Nisian? How are you coping? I'm not coping. I'm just kidding. I'm doing little stuff, okay? I'm doing little stuff. And those little stuff are making progress, right? So the first thing is that I'm just accepting the fact that I'm stressed. I realize that I have fought it for so long and I've dismissed it, like dismissed my stressors. And I tell myself, with time it will pass. But with time, you just dismiss them and then they'll just pop right back up. So I'm accepting that I am stressed the fuck out, right? I'm accepting that. The next thing is I'm walking away from the job that was causing a great amount of stress. So I'm walking away from my soul sucking ass job because I spoke about this earlier. The ridiculous hours that I was working was definitely not for me. I don't even like the human beings that I had to work with, and I wish them nothing but you know what? I am still trying to heal about how I'm currently being treated, so I have no wishes for them. They can continue to live accordingly and they shall receive whatever karma that comes their way. Whew, release. Also, I'm doing Pilates. I am currently going to a studio to do Pilates as a means of working out. The large gyms have too many people, and I'm constantly stimulated by people staring at me or asking me questions and trying to push like a personal trainer or something like that on me. I just cannot. It is too much for me. And then, especially when you go into the gym and you're not sure how to use an equipment and somebody's staring at you and you're wondering if you're using it right, that's too much for me. So I do not go to the large gyms. I just love the intimacy of going to the studio. It is a small number of people. I think it's less than 20 or less than 18. Even so, when you're in that class and it's filled and you're doing your workouts and you're being guided by the trainer, you're not really looking over to someone. You're just kind of focused on your training and what you are doing. Unless, we do a little quick peek to make sure that you are doing the right thing, or you ask the instructor to be like, oh, am I doing this right? Or is this a good form? I like it because it's small, it's intimate, and we're all doing the same thing on the reformer. So I really, really like it. And it has helped me to like kind of get out of bed and try to work out. If you follow me on Instagram and sometime I'll post my stories, you see how early I get up. I get up at 5 because I love to do the first class. The first class starts at 6 a.m. It kind of get me up, get me ready, and I'll work out. And I feel good when I'm coming in. It makes me feel like I want to do more things, right? So, yeah. The next thing that I picked up was gardening. Oh, Lord, I love it. Just being out there with my hat, with my soil, just digging and doing different things in my little gardens and watering my flowers. It makes me feel good. But Lord knows the lizards. We have a fight or flight relationship because every time I go out there to water them, they decide to just jump out, scare the hell out of me just to say, oh, you're getting my place wet, okay? But I love gardening. It really helps me to just get away. I put in my headphones, I'm sitting in my backyard, and I'm just in another world. I'm focused on planting my seeds and just digging up my soil and removing weeds and all of these things. It's just something that bring me joy. So, yeah, gardening is working out perfect for me as well. Also, making someone else happy. Now, let me just give you an example. I was in a very depressed state, but my sister had saved up money for her visit here so she can purchase an iPad for school. I had told her no the day before because I was just not in the mood to leave the house and then get Azalea ready and get stuff for Azalea so we could go on the road. It was just too much for me and overwhelming in a sense. I did not want to really deal with that. But as I was laying in my bed overnight, I was thinking about it and I said, why did you need to do that? Like, you didn't have to do that. Like, she even asked for you to just go on the day you will be off. It's not like you're going to be doing anything, right? She made sacrifices to save up, and I'm proud of her. She made sacrifices to save up, and not because I'm in a bad mood. I don't need to put her in a bad mood as well. So, what I did was I spontaneously got up early, woke them up, and I'm like, hey, get ready. This was on one of my days off, and I was like, hey, get ready. We're going to go to the Apple store so you can get your iPad. We also did some shopping because we were already in the mall, and she was really happy, and she kind of gave me a little stern thank you because she did not know how to approach the angry bear persona that I had. And even though I was still sad, it still made me smile. Just watching her being happy with her iPad. She got her little stencil pen and she saved up for it and she was able to purchase it. So I was super proud of her, and I was also happy that I kind of pushed myself to get out of bed and actually go and make her get something that she really really wanted to get. So um that little sadness that I had that day was just kind of shedding off, you know? So I was really happy about that. Another thing that I'm doing is just meeting up with friends that bring me joy. So not everyone will be the bearer of good news. You have some friends that are going through some level of stress like you're going through, and honestly, not all the time you need to take on someone else's problems, especially while you're going through your stuff. So I chose to go shopping for an iPad for my sister, and I was thinking to reach out to a friend, but instead she reached out to me first. So this was like divine intervention or something. But she reached out to me first and we were like, oh, we're on the road, da da da, let's meet up. So we decided to meet up, and that meet and greet, that little laugh, that little hug, that everything, like she just came and she just walked with us and do her little shopping too, and it just made the day so much better, right? And at the end of our meeting, when we were just about to depart, she was like, oh, Nisi, I have your peaches in my trunk. She brought me some Georgia peaches, and if she knew I told her, I'm like, if you only knew how happy you're making me right now. Like, I've been so depressed for the last 2 weeks, and this is just breaking it all off. Like, ooh, this is just shedding. This is just making me really, really, really happy, right? So she felt good because she made me feel good, and I'm happy about that. So I really, really encourage you to meet up with your friends that actually bring you genuine joy. And finally, therapy. So I tried therapy and it just did not work out for me, right? And trust me, therapy is, although they make it seem like it's for everyone, it's not for everyone. Not everyone knows how to navigate therapy. And also, not every therapist is going to be that therapist, right? And I put it that way because some people it's a calling, and for some people it's just a job. So, not every therapist is going to be that therapist. And I tried it and it just didn't work out for me, and I did not want to go through the process of constantly trying to find a therapist, right? So if you are someone that think you need mental help, do not hesitate to reach out for therapy, because it didn't work for me, but I'm not saying it's not going to work for you. There is so many different supports out there, and I am going to share a few with you now. So, the first thing I'm going to be sharing with you is from the Florida Department of Health website, and it has multiple mental health links. The first one, of course, if you need immediate help in a crisis, you need to call 911. Call someone if you know that someone is in immediate danger, or to the nearest emergency room. You can also call 988, which is a suicide and crisis lifeline here in the US, and it has been there since July 16, 2022. It was designated as the new 3-digit dialing code that will route callers to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So yeah, use 988, especially for suicide and crisis situations. You also have crisis text line, and this is where you can text hello, HELLO, to 741 741. So again, crisis text line, you can text hello, HELLO, to 741 741. So don't think I left Jamaica out of this. In the case of an emergency, you dial 119 for emergencies. For emergencies, again, you dial 119. But as it relates to mental health support, there is I think this is a youth, hold on, let me see. It's called U Report, as in the letter U Report. They're also on Instagram and Facebook as U-Report Jamaica. And basically, this is a mental health chat line that is anonymous, and it is basically a text line for Jamaican youth between the ages 16 to 24. So how it works is that you can send the text word support, SUPPORT, to you report at 876-838-4897. That is support, SUPPORT, to 876-838-4897. And they have a YouTube video here on the website, and I'm going to just play it real quick for you.
Did you know that 53% of young people have considered taking their life?
As a young person, I understand how hard it is to get support for mental health. 90% of young persons believe that their parents or guardians don't support them with their mental health struggles. But help is here.
To give young people a safe space to talk about their challenges and concerns right there on their phones.
You Matter connects you to trained counselors who can give you support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free of charge. The chat line is completely anonymous, and whatever you say will be held confidential.
Text support to 876-838-4897 using SMS, WhatsApp, or Facebook Messenger and start the conversation today. Your feelings matter. You matter.
So yeah, I just wanted to play that for you guys. I want to just end on a good note. So let me say this. Some of the things we are going through will require some assistance or some help. Even if you can do it alone, it does not mean you have to do it alone. Whether that help comes from a therapist, a partner, a family member, a friend, or your child. Because in all honesty, my daughter is 4 years old. She's going to be turning 5, and I'm so excited because I'm planning a photo shoot for her, like a Barbie photo shoot, and I'm going to shoot it myself. And I am so excited because I'm going to become a dressmaker, and I'm going to become a photographer, and I'm going to become a videographer. I'm going to be doing all out. I'm going to be going all out for her, right? Because I love birthdays, but I love intimate birthdays. So it's just going to be us, family. And I'm going to get her a cake, and I'm going to get her gift that she asked me for her birthday. And I'm so excited because I am planning this all out with Pinterest. I'm using Pinterest, and I am already stoked about everything, and I'm going to vlog it too, so you're going to see that on my YouTube channel, Nisian's Journal. So you're going to see that on Nisian's Journal. But I'm doing all of that, and I just derailed. But yeah, my daughter is 4, and she's going to be 5, and I was in bed and did not want to move. She said, "Mommy, it is late." Guys, it was past 11 a.m. and she was like, "Mommy, it's late. You need to eat. If you don't eat, you will get sick and your tummy will hurt you." And I was like, this is the same exact thing I tell you when you don't want to eat. So I told her, "Hey, come up on bed. Come here. Come here." And I gave her a big hug, and my eyes just filled up with water. And honestly, that little talk that she gave me, I just immediately just be like, okay, I'm gonna get up out of bed. I got up, I shook off that tired feeling, I took a shower, did a little face care, and I went downstairs. My daughter got my ass out of bed, okay? My daughter got my ass out of bed. So, as I said, you never know where the help can come from. And, throughout all of this, Ryan, even though he has work, because it's all of this was like happening, one of the weeks was his 7 days on. He took the time out and came in when I ran into my little hole in the office and I locked myself in here. He MacGyvered and pulled the door and came into the office and was like, we really need to talk. Like, something is happening to you, and I want to make sure that you are okay. Like, you're not like, you're okay. Like, what is going on? And we had a little talk, and I cried. He had tears in his eyes. We were just having that powwow, and I am just grateful. I am grateful. We are not perfect human beings, and he understands that. I understand that. And I am just grateful for the partnership that we have, because you can marry someone and they don't give a shit about you, okay? Y'all just existing financially. But I'm happy that he came in here even when I was trying to dig myself into a hole. I'm happy that he came in here and gave me that support before he went to bed because he have work. But he gave me that support and gave me a talk and made plans of what we can do, and just understand, hey, take that break, you need it. When you were doing your contracts, when COVID was going on and you were working so hard and we were doing all this work to get the house, you did not take a break. And he's like, take the break. Don't worry about it. Just take the break. The money will come. Don't worry about it. And that is the kind of support that, most of us need. And I was grateful to have that conversation, because now I'm in a better mood. I am in a better mood to record this podcast that I'm now going to edit, and I'm going to upload it, and you guys are going to hear it. And if you are going through this stressor, as I said, do not go through this alone. Even if you can, do not do it. Just like motherhood. Even if you feel like you can do it, don't do it alone. Accept the help. Safe help. Accept safe help. Don't accept help from people that is going to put the same trauma that they put you through on your child. But accept help where needed. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say thank you enough, because I'm really grateful if you took the time out to listen to my podcast and listen to me being creative and listen to me talk for maybe over 40 minutes. I am really grateful for that. And thank you guys again for your support. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. Bye.